Yo, guys, you need to check this thing out. It's called Agent GPT. That's the link here. I'm gonna put it in my post. I'm also trying this cool tool here, God mode space. Pretty nice. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna make another vid for that one. But Agent GPT is just like completely bonkers. So you name your bot, basically, you give it a goal, and then it starts working for you. It starts dividing a plan. This is a nice demonstration of what AI could do. So, like, all it's needed, it's actual access to your things. So your LinkedIn account, your podcast, your Zapier, and everything in between, right? To make business action move, just like an employee would actually. So yeah, basically, this is like the great demonstration of an employee replacer, basically, which points the future in many directions. One of which is like pure entrepreneurship. Mentioned that for a while, but yeah, there's not going to be employees anymore in this future. Everyone's going to be per themselves. You can read my post dating from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6, 7 years. I've always claimed that, and yeah, my human ego at play here. Okay, now the tool. What I did, because the UX is quite limited here, I copy pasted my last prompt to it in this document. Okay, so that's the goal that I put have my AI podcast reach number one on the globe, and I highlighted the special parts for you. So first, it divided the plan, right? So audio quality, expert guests on the pod, improving the structure and having a format, and then putting the podcast on various channels to increase the visibility. So that was like, okay, yeah, good start. Then I'm skipping, all the boring parts, but basically what you need to know is that it thinks, adds tasks just like an employee would, and then it executes on them. It doesn't really execute on them yet. It's more like on the planning phase and the application of that, just like OpenAI is mostly for ideation and strategy. But you can very, very quickly see how these bots are going to also execute on your behalf. Some results are going to be pretty disastrous, right? Because the advice they give is pretty basic. But obviously, this is going to improve, especially if there's a Charles GPT that just connects with all the data that I have. It's going to exactly know how I think. It's going to make good decisions because I make good decisions, generally speaking. Then it suggested some guests. So I was awaiting that. So that's pretty cool. Made me smile because these are all like, yeah, top AI minds. Actually, I'm going to invite all of them to my pod. And then it suggested some teams, right, to the podcast. So that's pretty cool as well. Then it suggested sponsors. So yeah, again, like on point. And the comparison I make here, I've hired various like $10 an hour folks, and never they would have been able to do that, let alone in days. It is that somewhat sad or worrying of how younger gens. I'm not sure how they're going to adapt, not only from a generation perspective, but just from a starting your career point. I mean, I was smarter when I started my career if I compare myself to a bunch of folks out there. But yeah, that's there the questions comes, because if these guys were not able to adapt with me, like what exactly is going to have them adapt, maybe this AI thing will like push them to start their thing. Still, there's going to be a lot of discomfort. So yeah, that these are some questions that go through my brain, my judgmental brain. Then it suggested some social media posts here. So again, on point. It even divided the plan. And yeah, the cold email, there you go. Straight up, so it's like I was also waiting. That was like, okay, yeah, the logical next step is a cold email, and it did it. So congrats to Agent GPT. By the way, I named it Auto GPT. It's Agent GPT. Auto GPT is a very similar thing, just that it runs on your computer, so that's more uh, accessible and open source. So I suggest you use that one. And something interesting here, it suggested me to go like for podcast awards. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a cool novel idea. I didn't think of that. I'm not an awards guy, but yeah, I'm guessing this could add some authority. So yeah, how do you like that, guys, for a demo? Pretty exciting. Congrats to their team. I'm not sure if they created some page here, but I'm gonna research them. I'm gonna try to have them on my pod. Very exciting. Good job. Humans are really working hard right now to deploy all these beautiful tools. And like, yeah, we're in a golden era. Obviously, me, I'm a positive guy, and I don't play too much in the fear zone. So like, I'm viewing all of this as positive. But yeah, you'll see what you want to do with that. Whether you're scared or happy, that is your decision. That is your feelings and your genes and your wiring. But like me, that makes me very, very exciting. Oh, and shout out to Trevor Longino, my podcast co-host, that suggested that tool to me. Thank you, Trev.